All right, guys, so today we're going to talk about EDC bags. Specifically, we're going to talk about mine, the way I've got this kind of packed out for my use case, right? So real quick before we get into the contents of the bag, which I know you guys are interested and have been asking for, I wanted to kind of take you guys back to one of the very first videos that we did on this channel, which was the EDC, the 2023 EDC video. In that video, I talked about everything that I have on person, all of the items, I can pretty much categorize into three categories. So the first one was functional necessities. So that's things that I just pretty much can't leave the house without. The second one was high consequence items. So things like a concealed carry pistol or a flashlight or a tourniquet. And then the last category was kind of nice to haves or convenience items. This backpack for me mostly falls into the category of conveniences. These are things that are nice to have with you, but are not necessarily something that I have to have with me at all times, right? So a lot of kind of conveniences in here, and then also a lot of high consequence items like extra medical, which we'll get into. Medical is definitely a high consequence item. The way I kind of think about this bag and the contents of it is this bag is going to be accessible. All the things in it are going to be accessible within minutes. The things that are on my person are going to be accessible within seconds, right? So, and then we're probably even going to do a video in the future about kind of my truck loadout and what I keep in the actual truck itself. And that's going to be something that's accessible or even less accessible, but is going to have a lot more gear and equipment and things that I definitely couldn't carry on me, whether in a bag or just on my person. So with that being said, let's get into the contents of my EDC bag. All right, guys, before we get into it, we want to make sure we thank Blue Alpha for supporting the channel. Now, Blue Alpha, as you guys know, is an American company based out of Georgia. They make high quality nylon gear. So if you're looking for anything like EDC belts, battle belts, I really recommend their low profile EDC belt, as well as the battle belt light for all of your outside the waistband stuff. If you're looking for any of that type of stuff, be sure to visit bluealphabelts.com and use our affiliate link in the description below. That helps us out. We get a little kickback from that, helps us film content like this for you guys. We appreciate you checking them out, and big thanks to Blue Alpha. We'd also like to thank Vertx Ordnance for their support of the channel. Vertx is an online retailer that has curated an entire selection of the highest quality firearms gear that you can imagine. So if you're looking for anything that you need to fill up an EDC bag, like the one we're going to be talking about today, or even if you're looking for a Vertx bag, make sure you check out bigtexordnance.com. Use our code GATEWAY10 to save you some money at checkout. So once again, huge thanks to Vertx Ordnance for their support. All right, so getting right into it, at its base right here, this is the Vertx Gamut 2.0. So this bag is pretty much kind of on the larger end of what I would consider good for an EDC bag. I really like that I have a lot of capability with this, plus a bunch of extra room in here. This bag is not nearly packed out all the way as far as filling it to capacity. I think it's important to have some extra space in here, so that's kind of why I went with a little bit of a bigger bag. But this bag has served me super well for several years now. What I really like about Vertx, just kind of right off the bat, Vertx is not sponsoring us, did not send this to me, I bought this. What I like about Vertx is that it doesn't look overtly tactical. So there's no molly on the outside of here, nothing about this bag other than maybe the colors are not really tactical at all. I just couldn't pass up the Baby Yoda colorway, right? I think that's looks pretty cool. But they also make a bunch of bags that are in kind of just normal colors, blue, yellow, red, things like that, just normal black that just look like book bags, right? I think that's pretty cool. So it kind of keeps a low profile, blends in pretty well, doesn't attract a lot of attention, and it doesn't look overtly tactical. Getting right into it, let's kind of take a look at maybe some of the outside pockets first. So on the outside here, I have a big stretchy pocket for my water bottle, which is out of water. If you saw the range bag video, I mentioned that I had lost my water bottle, and so I found it shortly thereafter, so that's fun. So I usually have an Nalgene in there, which reminds me I lost mine, so that's fun. Big stretchy bag right there, big stretchy pocket right there, holds Nalgene water bottles. I will oftentimes carry two, one for myself, one for my wife. I try to always have water on me. Of course, I'm a really bad person and literally am out of water right here. On the side, if you open this up, there's a lot of external organization. You'll notice that there's a lot of pockets that I'm not even utilizing just because I don't really have the need for it. In here, I do keep a 20-round Magpul PMag loaded with Spear 62 grain gold dot. It's got a mag pod on the bottom of it. It holds a little nano multi-tool from Multitasker. So I just keep this in my bag because I do usually have a rifle somewhat nearby. We won't pull that out though. So keep a little bit of extra ammo for my rifle. On the other side, I have the exact same pocket. And in here, what I actually have is the Roll 1 from Faro Concepts. So this is a med kit. What I like about this med kit mostly is the form factor. So there are better med kits as far as what you can carry in them. This is pretty small and doesn't allow you to carry too much. It's great mounted on a belt, great mounted on a plate carrier as far as kind of not getting in the way, not being a huge bulky thing. It's super nice for wearing on a belt or a plate carrier if you're sitting in a vehicle or something like that. But what I also like is that I can rip it off super easily and I can stuff it into these pockets on the side, and I've got a medical pouch right there. What's also easy is that I could tell people, hey, zip open the side water bottle pocket and pull out the multicam camouflaged burrito, right? And I can have them grab this and bring it to me, and then this just opens up, as you guys probably know, and you can just pull this whole insert out and access all of your medical gear right in here. So the Roll 1, super nice. I think this is a pretty cool invention, and yeah, that lives right here in the outside pocket. Well, we'll just leave it. All right, getting into the very outside panel right here, pretty much all Vertx bags, or all the ones that I have at least, have this kind of tearaway front panel. So if I grab this and just kind of pull it down, what I've got up here is medical again. So one thing you'll see a recurring theme of is medical. I think medical is something that's super important to have on you, and but I can't carry a ton of it on my person. So right here what I have is a bunch of medical. The blue tape looks really janky, I know, but it kind of keeps everything in place from sliding around, but I can still grab this and just kind of rip it out. This panel right here is actually from Spiritus Systems, and I don't think it was designed for this, but what I found is that I can stick medical equipment into here, and I can rip this off as a tearaway panel, and then I can hand this to somebody, or I can take this to somebody's side, or I can ask somebody to retrieve this for me. So what I've got on here is just some basic stuff to pretty much stop the bleed. Including a small flashlight that has a reverse pocket clip, so I can stick that on the bill of my cap if something has gone down in the dark and I need extra light to be able to see what I'm doing to plug some holes. So that is, that's upside down. That is right there, fully accessible at all times, and kind of in a tearaway, breakaway little package there. All right, from there, let's open up the main compartment. Well, actually, let's open up this top compartment. So this top compartment right here is stuff that I want readily accessible. This is nothing super high speed or anything like that, but it's just stuff that I'm gonna be using pretty frequently. So I've got a charger for my MacBook because doing work and things like that. This is actually Justin's phone charger that he left at in my car last time he was at my house. I have a little microfiber cleaning cloth. The microfiber cleaning cloth is really good for optics, lights, or your glasses. So I wear sunglasses pretty much all the time when I'm outside, and I also wear prescription glasses at times also. So having a microfiber cloth is great, comes in handy quite a bit. Right here in the top as well, I have a small headlamp. This is just an Energizer one. Honestly, I don't recommend this brand or this model. I need to upgrade my headlamps, but it is decent. What's funny is it's red and it doesn't have a red light mode. So that's pretty lame. Killed in the streets. Yeah, very killed, especially on my night raids and things like that. In the top here also I have some earbuds. These are usually in my pocket, but they weren't today. Got a pen that also has a glass breaker. This is from my buddy Tyler over at Calculated Kinetics. Pens are pretty useful to have. And then I have just a pair of foamy earplugs in case I need some hearing protection kind of last minute. So just kind of some basic stuff that I'm gonna access pretty regularly, and I just keep that on the top little zippered pocket. From here, we can kind of open this whole bag up. And this is pretty nice. I like this about these bags quite a bit, is these are kind of like a clamshell opening. So you could pull the whole thing down and access everything. You can lay it flat, pack it all up, and then, and also get quick access to everything that's even on the bottom of the bag. Let's start actually on this side here. I'm just trying to think of the best way to do this. So start on this side over here. So you'll also notice that I have a lot of redundancies in the bag. The reason I have a lot of redundancies is because I think that I can, right? Because I have the space. I have had stuff go down on me. I've had, you know, running out of batteries on my lights. I've had to hand out flashlights to people in like a power outage situation, things like that. So I have a lot of redundancies in here, and you guys will see that. In here I have a little stream light. This is the ProTac 2LX, and I actually have a little red tape over the lens. I do need a red light at times, so I have a little bit of red tape, and that actually came in handy for a video that we did. In here I just have a couple of Sharpies and some pens. Always have Sharpies. They're super valuable, super useful. And then in here I also have a multitasker twist from Multitasker. So this is just a little multi-tool that has a bit driver in it, and this comes in super handy. I keep one of these in my bag pretty much at all times. In the top here, let's see, you'll notice I'm not super organized with everything. I actually have a wire for a radio that I wear for church security. In here I have Gateway swag, obviously. These are the homie patches right here. So if you see us and we give you a patch, we'll probably give you one of these. Stickers, business cards, just kind of some swag stuff in there. Nothing too exciting. In this pocket right here, I have a few things. So number one, I just have Band-Aids, right? Everybody has boo-boos, like usually. People come to me for like medical equipment, and most of the time, all they need is Band-Aid. So Band-Aids in here. I have some pain meds as well, some Tylenol, ibuprofen, and Excedrin that I keep for emergencies and to help people out. I have a whistle in here, which is, some people will say is kind of weird, but I have used whistles before in a previous job, and they were actually pretty handy to get people's attention. So I have one in there, just kind of lives in there. I also have a bunch of zip ties. Zip ties actually come in super useful for me. I find zip ties to be like super strong. I've had to help people like put on their bumpers when they got ripped off and stuff like that from running into rocks in the parking lot or whatever. It's nothing super high speed or fancy, and they're definitely not flex cuffs, but zip ties are good to have. One thing that I do need to plus back up, which I had a full first aid kit in here, and over time, over a couple of years, I pretty much depleted it, and I was just kind of grabbing extra supplies. And then my first aid kit got so big and bulky that it was super annoying, I just took the whole thing out of my bag. So I am actually working on putting together a new first aid kit that is going to live in this pocket. It'll be a little bit more comprehensive, other than the one that I keep in my truck. So that does need improvement, and there's a couple things in here that need some improvement, which you guys will see kind of as we keep going. Headphones, I like over-the-ear headphones for working on video editing or even just listening to music. These have a sound canceling feature as well as a transparency feature. The sound canceling feature I pretty much only use at home, and I always keep them on transparency when I'm out and about, kind of in public. I don't like not being able to hear what's going on around me, so I have those. I also like to wear those over ear because when I do this, it looks like I'm really engaged in whatever I'm doing, right? And so I can be sitting there at my computer, typing away, working, and maybe sometimes I don't even have the sound on, but it just makes me look really low profile. I'm kind of fitting right in with somebody who would be working on their computer, listening to music or whatnot. Always keep an extra pair of sunglasses in here. These are another pair of Gator sunglasses, actually. I usually am wearing a pair, and I usually have a backup pair in the truck. I'm really lame because like I can't really go anywhere without sunglasses. I'm so used to wearing them. So I always like to have sunglasses, and I also like that I can throw them on and it changes my look pretty fast if that's something that you're into. In here, I have all of my charging cords. So this is everything to keep my electronics running, including things like my red dot optics and things like that. So in here, I've got a battery bank, just an external power bank. I've got a little USB-C converter kit for doing media stuff on the go. I've got some wired headphones. Headphones for me, you'll notice like I literally have 3 pairs of headphones in my bag. Headphones for me are actually really important. I have been in situations before where I've been needing to talk on the phone while I was doing something. So maybe I'm moving, maybe I'm doing something with my hands and I need to be able to talk on the phone. Having either a wired or a wireless headphone option to be able to communicate with somebody else while the phone's in the pocket and my hands are free so I can look around, pay attention, or do something with my hands is pretty important to me. I like that quite a bit, so I always make sure I have some sort of headphones or something like that. I also have charging cables in here, some extra batteries, some AAAs, USB-C, some 2032 batteries, some 1632 batteries, and that's just to charge and run all of the electronics that I have on me with the exception of my flashlights. So this is just kind of keep all the electronics going. Down here I have the, oh boy, Theorem Cell Vault, right? Is that the Theorem Cell Vault? 5M. Theorem Cell Vault 5M, right? So this thing is pretty cool. I've always admired these. I actually recently got this. And in here is where I'm going to carry the batteries for my flashlights. So I've got a couple of CR123s. This is going to power my X300 Turbo that I carry on my carry gun. And then I've got 4 different 18650 light, batteries, right? All of my lights run off of, other than my X300, run off of an 18650. I don't have any 18350s or anything like that. So it's pretty nice. I have 4 full batteries. That'll keep all of my flashlights running, including the flashlight that I carry on me, as well as the little Streamlight Pro Tax. I can throw an 18650 in there, as well as a couple of 123s. So that's super handy. Keep this thing full of batteries and keep those fully charged pretty much at all times. Moving down, I have a large microfiber cloth. I really like this thing. This comes in handy quite a bit. This is actually a, I don't even remember where I got, I think actually I got this from my sister, but it's just a huge microfiber cloth. I've used this to clean a bunch of stuff, and it's just really handy to have something that will, that is not just like a tiny little eye lens thing. I use this all the time, and I have another one of these that I keep in my range bag. These come in handy all the time. Paracord, right? I have some bright orange 550 paracord that I daisy chain. So these are, I believe they're 10-foot strips, I believe. And I have about 5 or 6 of these. So I could carry more, but my thing is with this bag is it's not a survival bag. Like this is not a, hey, I'm going to go out into the woods and survive. This is a urban kind of EDC or get home bag. Paracord does come in super useful. I find myself loaning people out little lengths of paracord all the time to fix stuff. And so I always try to make sure that I have something in my bag. And this has a myriad of uses. If you know, you know. Okay, what's next? Fixed blade. So I always keep a fixed blade in my bag. I think fixed blades are pretty much one of the most useful tools ever. If you do ever find yourself in a situation where you do need to survive or live for a few days, fixed blades are great. This one is, I don't even remember the model number, but this one is from SOG. Oh, it's the pillar. There you go. It's written on the blade for idiots like me. This thing is pretty great. I have it on a tech lock, so I can throw this on my belt if I need to. But for the most part, this just lives in the bottom of my bag. And I have an extra blade to supplement my EDC blade. Another blade, right? Speaking of blades, this one is from Cold Steel. This thing is an absolute monster. It's pretty much a fixed blade. It has a super, super strong lock. I forget what they call this, but this is the 8010 from Cold Steel. And this thing is an absolute beast. You can do everything from like opening Amazon packages to literally batoning firewood with this thing. Really hefty knife, super, super strong lock, and this thing is razor sharp. I keep that in my bag at all times. I have another power bank. Again, I have been in situations, what you'll find is a lot of the stuff that I keep in my bag is stuff that I found that I've needed before. That's been a fairly high consequence item. I have run out of battery in my phone many times being out and about, and it's really annoying not to be able to communicate with anybody, not be able to navigate with my GPS, things like that. Sanitizing hand wipes. Like, wash your hands, you filthy animal, right? Make sure you stay clean. That's very important. don't get sick, things like that. Down here, I've got this little bag. So this is actually a Team Wendy bag. This is what my helmet came in. And in here, I keep 2 pairs of darn tough wool socks, as well as an extra change of underwear. So if I do have to be away from home for 24 or 48 hours, something like that, I'm gonna want the ability to change out my underwear or my socks. If my socks get wet or my feet get wet, I really want the ability to change out my socks. Something that I always carry in my truck is a pair of waterproof hiking boots that are really comfortable to walk in. So if I do ever have to, like let's say I'm just wearing tennis shoes like I am today, my feet get wet, it's raining, something like that, I can get back to my vehicle, I can switch out to some dry wool socks, switch into some waterproof hiking boots, and I'm good to go probably for the rest of the time that I'm outside. So I just keep this stuffed in the bottom of the bag, and it just lives there, and that has actually come in handy once or twice. Let's see, am I missing anything? Down here I just have a little bit of lens cleaner for my glasses and my optics and things like that. And I think that, so I also keep a bunch of cash, right? So I actually keep about $500, between $200 and $500 worth of cash in my backpack at all times. So now you know, if you see my bag around, you can, you know there's some cash in there. Justin's actually going to take that and probably buy himself a new M&P with that. What I found is that cash will pretty much get you out of any situation. So having some cash on hand can do everything from buy you a ride, right? Get you a room for the night. With $500, I could pretty much buy a plane ticket to get almost anywhere in the United States. Cash is super helpful. If my credit card is not working, if I can't access my bank account, if I can't transfer funds, whatever is going on, cash still works in today's society. So I do try to keep a fair amount of cash on me. Okay, we're almost done with this. So this thing is a little Vertx organizer pouch thingy. They're gonna hate me because I don't know what it's called, but this is where I just keep all of the stuff for my eyes. So this is just like some contact solution, my contact case, and then I also have an extra pair of contacts in there. I'm super blind without them. And then my actual prescription glasses. One thing that is really annoying about being visually impaired is that you pretty much can't go anywhere without having some sort of corrective lens. So I've got to have my glasses on me, or I've got to have my contacts with me and a fresh pair of contacts, because contacts dry out or you get grit in them or whatever. So I never, ever, ever go anywhere without extra contacts and my glasses. Right here, I've got this little Velcro tearaway panel. That's another thing I like about these Vertx bags, is the inside is all loop Velcro. So anything that has hook on the back of it can hook right into it and kind of stay in place and not jostle around. This is just a little panel of, guess what? Yeah, more medical, right? So I've got a CAT Gen 7 tourniquet in bright orange. This is another thing that is very purposeful. When I ask somebody to get into my backpack, for whatever reason, if you ask people to get into a bag, they generally can't figure out what pocket you're talking about. If you're like, hey, open the main compartment, they're like, which one's the main compartment? So pretty much if you open any compartment, the outside one, the side one, or the inside one, you're gonna find medical in here. So what I've got in here is a couple of tourniquets, and these are quick access things. I like to keep them right near the top, and I can tell people go grab the bright orange tourniquet in the main compartment if they can figure that out. Okay, let's get into this last little pouch right here, and this is a pouch that I'm into kind of all the time. And yeah, so a couple of things in here. Multi-tool, right? Multi-tools are super, super helpful. I use a multi-tool probably maybe twice a week, 3 times a week for something, and it always comes in handy when I'm traveling or on the road or away from home and I don't have access to my full kit. Again, this is another thing from SOG or SOG, I believe they like us to call it. And you can get to the pliers with one hand. This was actually my grandpa's knife, and it has pretty much lived with me ever since he gave it to me. So there's that multi-tool. And here I have a couple of lock picks. So if you know, you know. These will get me into pretty much most residential locks. I have a lockpick set that I'm actually replacing right now. So I will have maybe an update for you guys at a later date. But this right now is what I've got, and it will let me into pretty much any house. I also have a couple of padlock shims, right? So if you don't know what padlock shims are, look them up. They're a super handy way to access padlocks, you know, if you maybe need to get into a padlock. I've got a bit kit in here. These are hand-selected bits that fit all of the things that I have on me. So whether that's my holster, whether that's my lights or things like that, this is going to have the bit that I need. My optics. These are going to be all hand-selected bits that are going to fit everything that I have on me or that I might be carrying with me. I have a little CRKT bit driver in here as well. That comes in handy. I have a little bit of, this is kind of weird, it's called Nerd Wax, but it's for your glasses. Helps them stay on your face. Let's see, a bunch of stuff in here. I have a little utility knife holder. So this is something that travels with me. This is especially when I fly. I always have this with me. It does not have a blade in it right now because I flew recently and never put one in. I don't actually usually keep a blade in here, but what's nice is that if I do lose my knife or I am in a position where I don't have a blade, I can go buy a blade from any hardware store or something like that and throw a little razor blade in here, and now I've got a little box cutter and a little bit of a razor blade. And then I have a couple of hair ties in here because I used to have long hair. That's pretty much everything in that pouch. I think that about does it. The only thing else that I carry in the backpack is back here in the concealed carry compartment. I don't keep anything in here for concealed carry, but I use this as a spot for my MacBook. So in here I just keep my MacBook Air. This is a 13-inch version. Has worked out really well for me. And then all the way in the back here, I don't know, Justin, if you can get a shot of this, but I have the Gateway Defense Performance Standards patches. So in case we run into somebody who wants to shoot for that, you have a chance to earn one of these bad boys right here. So if you know, you know, and there's a few of these out in the wild now. Whew, that was a long bit of talking. I think that's about it, guys. That's everything that I carry in my bag. Again, nothing in here is super revolutionary. Nothing in here is like the best of the best of the best, right? There are people who have way better systems than me, they have way better organization than me, and there's still a lot of stuff that I want to do to this. So upgrades that I want to do in the future. Number one, I want to get a couple of Magpul DACA pouches. I'm going to build out a first aid kit in a DACA pouch. That's going to go into one of these mesh pockets here. I'm going to get the Magpul DACA, I think it's called the grid organizer, that is going to have, you know, that's going to replace this little bag with all of my kind of charging cords and things like that. And then I'm going to be able to pack out this Audi gear bag with some other stuff. I want to have everything pretty much in little bags. That's going to be kind of the main thing. My medical I'm pretty happy with. I like the way that is. Yeah, I'm trying to think. There's not really much else that I really want to change in the near future. If you guys are looking for EDC bags, highly recommend them. You can get them at Big Tech's Ordnance. You guys know that we work with Big Tech's, so if you're looking for Vertx bags, I would recommend you checking one of those out from them. And yeah, if you guys have any questions on EDC bags, please be sure to let us know in the comments. If there's anything that you want us to expand on or do another video on, let us know as well. And also be on the lookout for another video about what I carry in my truck, the truck loadout. That's going to even further expand on this whole idea of what we can kind of plus up with to all of these kind of nice to haves or additional high consequence items that might be handy to have. So, all right, guys, that's it from us. Thanks for watching. Until next time, keep practicing and shooting, and we'll see you on the range.
That wasn't tiring at all.
Hey, look, the Statue of Liberty. Also a cow.
That's nice.
It's fun.